What's up, guys? Killer App here with Hip Hop Science, and I'm going to be answering the questions now from the AMA video I put out yesterday. I guess one day is long enough for anyone who's going to respond, so here we go. Joey Tarnowski asks, who is your favorite underground rapper? At least I assume that's what he's asking. He said favorite underground rapper with a question mark. So, anyway. That's a hard one because I actually haven't been listening to too much underground music recently. I've been kind of focused on this like stuff for my channel, so I've been kind of going in directions that you guys all might know. Originally, it would have been Joyner Lucas. That was my most recent favorite underground rapper, and then he got a multi-million-dollar deal with Atlantic. So I don't know how to feel about that. He still technically kind of acts like an underground rapper. He doesn't necessarily come on like major networks or anything like that. And dude, but let me just rant about him for a bit. The dude has the storytelling ability that nobody else can match. And his technical acumen, of course, it's all there. He's like very inspired by like Tech Nine and those kinds of guys. And he raps fast too, so I might do a top 10 Joyner Lucas videos just one of these days. But the point is, his technique is all there, but it's his storytelling ability that really absolutely makes him stand out above everyone else. I have not heard anything like something like Ross Cappuccioni. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'm going to link it in the description because you need to hear it. Fantastic. Just unbelievable. Yeah, I know it doesn't necessarily count anymore, but Joyner Lucas, my favorite underground rapper. Okay, it counts because he was my favorite from when he was underground, so that's what I'm going to go with. Interchopper asks, shout outs to you, by the way, keep doing your thing, you're dope. Were you required to solve advanced mathematical pendulum velocity problems with energy method or using forces? Lol, cause they give you half a point here unless you involve trigonometry and integrate acceleration. Lol, shake my head. Well, first of all, I don't necessarily know what you mean by advanced pendulum velocity mathematical problems because pendulums aren't that necessarily complicated. Harmonic motion in general is fairly well understood. Unless you mean like maybe there's multiple bobs, like multiple bodies, maybe there's air friction involved. Assuming you're meaning simple harmonic motion because that others would require other forces and other factors. It doesn't matter which method you use. I mean, you're going to end up with the same second order differential equation regardless. I don't know how you can solve it without involving trigonometry because ultimately you want a case of the position as a function of the angle and the initial whatever. So yeah, you deserve half a point if you don't use trigonometry and integrate acceleration because how else are you going to solve the position? It's a second order. Yeah, that's all. Not much more to say about this. It doesn't matter which method you use, it's the same thing. Lyrical Music asks, shout outs to Lyric, by the way, one of my OG fans, always showing support, so cool guy. One thing, you started on Hip Hop Science. Maybe you should do a new series called Anime Science. As a huge fan of animes, I've studied their sciences for a long time, and I've even went as far as to scale Narutoverse to Dragon Ball Verse and get a proper answer on how powerful they both are, and would love to collab on a video involving anime science. Basically, he's telling me to look into the science of anime universes. And that actually sounds like a really cool idea. I do really like anime. I've done a lot of, like with my brother, I've done like a lot of analysis on which universes are the most powerful, where do all the strongest people come from. Like Dragon Ball Z, for those of you who are not familiar with like anime and comic books also, I'm going to include in this because I love comics too. Dragon Ball Z sounds like one of these overpowered universes where everything is just like, you get as strong as you need to be to do whatever you need. But in reality, when you compare it, especially now with Super, bringing it more into the mix, when you compare it to a lot of these guys like Superman and certain comic series, guys like Galactus from the Marvel series, there's just characters out there which are just unbelievable and just, they take the concept of power and redefine it on huge scales. Because like Goku, okay, he can move mountains, he can destroy a couple planets. Think about someone like the Beyonder from the DC comics who can just change... Wait, is it Beyonder from DC? Anyway, I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. It might be Marvel. But he can change reality. He's like the biggest guy in the universe of any of the comics. He's like... And then there's people out there that just really put power to another scale. So that's a cool idea, Lyric. I like it. I'm enough of a nerd to take you up on this offer, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments what you would think if I did something like that on this channel. I know it's a music channel, but I have a very small fan base as of right now, and you guys are all very loyal to me, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know. Meme Lover asks, who was the first artist that got you into rap? That is a very hard question to answer because there's multiple ways to interpret it. For one, who was it that got me into rap music? I don't know. It was kind of just the music that was popular at the time, and I just kind of fell with it. Eminem, The Real Slim Shady, one of the OG tracks from way back in the day. I think it was the first rap track that really got me interested in the topic. Linkin Park actually was one of the biggest influences in that respect because it's like it bridges the gap between what was rock and roll, what was, I guess, the transition between what was popular at the time to hip hop. But like they combined that, and Mike Shinoda, while he, as a rapper himself, Fort Minor doesn't necessarily get the credit he deserves, but with Linkin Park, who doesn't know the lyrics to In the End? At least from my generation. That shit is dope. Yeah, so if it were to interpret it as who got me to start rapping for the first time, then Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, absolutely. But Crazy Bone specifically, and I'm going to name the exact song, it was Ridin' Dirty with Chamillionaire, which then led into Spit Yo Game with Biggie posthumously and Twista. Yeah, Crazy Bone got me into rapping because it's just like I heard the chopping style and like the harmonies and stuff when I researched Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, and I know a lot of you, my fans, are definitely younger because like chopping is just one of those things you really get into when you're like a younger person, and sometimes you don't grow out of it. Like I definitely did not, but if you guys haven't listened to Bone Thugs extensively, definitely check them out. They're dope. Yeah, those would be my answers. Let's say Eminem / Linkin Park and Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Saturn the Beast asks, who is better, Interchopper or Crucified? Well, depending on what you mean. If you mean just personal preference, that's up for debate. I'm not going to necessarily talk about that. I want to keep it a bit more objective. Objectively speaking, when it comes to, let's say, speed, Crucified has a better track record. He's just had more catalog, and he has like world record attempts and stuff like that. When it comes to music, I would say Crucified, again, they're actually not even in the same league in most of these categories. Not necessarily because Interchopper's bad. Interchopper's fine. The thing is, Crucified has such a larger body of work, and he has so much experience, and like he's just technically more proficient, and he has just more music out. He has like several albums. Interchopper doesn't really have anything. I'm sure in time Interchopper will put up more of a fight, but at the moment it's not really a competition. Crucified is just on another level. Again, not to say anything about necessarily their chopping ability, not their speed, anything like that. Crucified just at the moment is just a veteran compared to Interchopper, who's only been around so long. So hard comparison, but definitely Crucified. And that's all for now, guys. I'm actually running a bit low on time. I got a concert to go to, a flamenco dance show thing. I don't know why I told you guys this. I'm sure you guys don't really necessarily care where I'm going. But let me know what you thought about this video and just general idea. And if you'd like it to continue, post any further questions in the comments below. And if I get enough interest, if it's similar to this, I might do another one sometime later in the week or next week, or, you know, anytime you guys have ideas or suggestions, just leave them in the comments because I read them all. I get like a little notification on my phone every time someone leaves a comment. So I read all of your comments, all of your suggestions. So none of it goes unheard. Let me know what you think. And as always, if you like what you see, to be honest, you're probably already subscribed to me if you're watching this, but you know, the button's there. So thanks for watching. It's Killer Rap signing out.